Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a really cool team you can use for this journey event in Merlantis. Really important to use the event Captain Drowned Wanderer. Has ×2 magic, which is basically double damage, and the trait gives ×3 score. That is basically your miles, and it's really important that you make sure you get this dude. So we'll go to the shop, grab at least tier 1 and 2 as an absolute minimum. Tier 1, you get a potion of enchantment, really useful for this event. And tier 2 is where you pick up the Drowned Wanderer, guaranteed. And remember, whatever damage that says you're doing for that, double it, because that is going to be how much damage you do when you cast it. And then it creates 2 blue gems boosted by undead allies, which is going to mean 10 gems. So that's pretty decent, but it's not always going to loop. But we can do something to actually make that better. Tier 3, you can pick up a weapon if you like. We're not going to use it for this event, but always good to have a new weapon. Now, if you want to get your Drowned Wanderer to a mythic level, there's 2 ways to do it. The favoured way for me, anyway, is to buy tier 2 and then go and use 2 of your Ascension Orbs to get this guy to mythic. That is going to be a good way to do it if you can spare the Ascension Orbs. If you can't, you can just buy loads of tiers and get enough to get it to mythic that way. But it is important to get it to mythic if you can. But regarding the team, we're going to sort of flop between 2 teams here in a way. Now, the Doomed Corseque does damage based on your magic to the first 2 enemies with a +2 per tempering level boost, then creates 2 blue gems for each blue ally and enemy. This means that if any time the enemy team has got more than 1 blue enemy in it, you're going to be doing or creating more blue gems than even this fella, which is really useful. And in this first battle here, got 2 blue enemies. So we're going to be creating 12 gems, blue gems, every time we cast this, which gives it a good chance to loop. I guess it's got a better chance to loop as well, because the reason why this is here, and pretty much the only reason is here, is because we summon an ice storm when an enemy dies. Now, I can't tell you how much of a difference it makes in an event-like journey to have a storm going of the relevant colour. It makes a massive difference to the loop potential. And why is loop potential important? Well, because you get maximum miles if you kill the enemy team with 10 turns or less. Now, a turn is your turn, all your moves, including extra turns. The enemies go, and then back to you again. That is 1 turn. So if you keep on looping, if you keep on getting that storm going, and we keep on creating tons of blue, we can wipe out the enemy and keep the maximum miles. If Bat gets to be charged up, happy days, we can cast that and do it that way as well. Now, I was saying about 2 teams. I'm just going to show a second option quickly, because there's another way to get a ice storm. Now, if the enemy has only 1 blue enemy, or indeed no blue enemies, so we're not going to actually create any more blue than the Drowned Wanderer, we can go about this a different way. What you can do is you can pop in Oshia's Tome as the weapon. Yeah, let's just go down to that and let's show this. Like that. Now, the cool thing about that is that actually has Ice Storm, or create an ice storm as part of its upgrades. Really, really cool. So when we cast that, we're going to be starting that ice storm absolutely straight away, and it explodes a load of gems for each blue and elemental allies. That, with blue troops, that'd be 16 straight away. Then all you got to do is just swap out Carrion Crow for another Crimson Bat, and you are nearly good to go. But I would swap the banner on that to the awesome Maze banner, which is got a bizarrely good set of colours at the moment. +3 red, +2 green, -1 purple. So just swap out Carrion Crow for another Crimson Bat, stick an Oshia's Tome with a Maze banner, and you'll be absolutely good to go. Loads of red for Crimson Bat, loads of green for Drowned Wanderer, a nice storm with Oshia's Tome, and stacks of blue at the same time. So yeah, that'd be a good way to go. But let's just show this team straight away with the original team using that doomed weapon, the Corseque. Where's it gone? There it is. Right, so let's show it with this originally, or initially at least. Right, let's jump into a battle. Going to be a Necromancer class for this. Actually very important. Nearly forgot that, but the talent trees are really good for this. Now, the reason why this is the preferred undead class for me is it gets lots of benefits. Like anti-magic sphere is good. Really good to have that half mana start as well. But these 2 here, stealthy is nice by the way, but Swift Curse, death mark a random enemy at the start of battle. If that comes in on those high levels, you just get an instant kill. Really, really useful, and it can get better. If Rising Shadows comes in as well, a 7% chance to assassinate the last enemy when another enemy dies. then you can have some really fast battles if you're lucky, and that can combine with that. So really cool. And remember, Rising Shadows counts on a normal kill at the same time. So yeah, if we get a little bit lucky, we can have some really fast games here. Right, so we're going to get a 50% start on this blue. There we go, we've got charged up straight away. Now look at that boost ratio, plus 12. So we're going to wipe out the first two. Look at all that blue. Your choice, doomed weapon or bat, or the wandering geezer, and we wipe the enemy out. Now you can proceed with this team even if you don't have blue enemies, but we're going to get a lot of blue enemies on this, I think, just because of the way it's going to go. Corbin Half Elf and Tal'Ray, they're both blue again, so we can stick with this team. But like I say, you can just swap to Oshia's Tome if you like, when there's no blue enemies. So we'll grab, don't really want that, but it is an extra turn, so we may get a cascade, and we did. So here we go, another 10. That time. The reason why that changed from 12 to 10 is because the crow was there. The Valraven came in. So that's not a blue enemy, so we got a reduced there. But it still worked out okay. And because of the Potion of Enchantment, the Crimson Bat will get up. Anyway, so we've got no blue enemies. Oh, we've got one blue enemy. So this is technically no better now at creating blue than our Doomed Wanderer. Remember before, we had the Carrion Crow summoning an Ice Storm when an enemy died. So this is a second option. This is a way you could actually go about it full stop for a while. It should be pretty effective, this, I think. So if we go to what I'm looking for, I was in the wrong bit of the alphabet. Let's go to Crimson Bat. Let's chuck in a second bat. Let's show this other option in action. I'm going to go to our banner, and we want to pick the maze banner for this. Lots of red for our bat. Like that, and we'll change the weapon to Oshia's Tome. But remember, when we cast that, this creates an Ice Storm immediately. We still got the benefits of Necromancer class with that Swift Curse. Somebody could die from Deathmark straight away. Rising Shadows could come in straight away. We still get the 50% mana start, so we can collect that. The bat's ready straight away. Done. See you later. Jumped forward a bit, but yeah, this Crimson Bat team is actually doing really, really well still. No dropped miles at all, not even close so far. But that is obviously because my magic level is pretty good and I do a decent amount of damage. But when you get to the part where your Crimson Bat, even on back-to-back casts, is not going to wipe out the enemy, you do have to change things up a little bit with this team. So let's get our Oshia's Tome ready first. That wasn't very nice of them to remove those colours. We'll do a bit of damage. As well take these 4 matches when they're there, because cascades can happen where it works out in your benefit. And if your Crimson Bat is still going to wipe out back-to-back casts, you may as well just do it. Get them wiped out of there in a hurry. But if it's not, if your magic level isn't enough to wipe out the enemy with back-to-back casts of Crimson Bat, you need to soften them up first, which you can actually do. See, this kind of team here, we're up against 3 blue opponents, is, if you're serious about getting as many miles as possible, this is where it's definitely worth taking the time to swap Oshia's Tome over for that Doomed Corseque weapon, because you're going to make loads more blue against this team here. So that would be better for that. But let's imagine you haven't got that weapon and you have to stick to Oshia's Tome. Now, if the enemy has more health than what you're going to dish out with back-to-back casts of Crimson Bat, you need to soften them up first. So what we're going to do is cast our Oshia's Tome. This starts our Ice Storm. Get lucky like I did there, then we've charged up our Drowned Wanderer. So what you can do is you can cast this on each enemy one at a time. And a lot of the time you are going to loop. If you're not going to loop, you're going to get an extra turn and maybe get it charged up again. And just cast on the troops, which basically have the highest health. So when you cast your bats back to back, you can wipe them out. Like obviously I had enough to wipe them out anyway, but hopefully the next battle will be tougher and I can show that a little bit more accurately. But yeah, all this battle here should do the trick. Oh, so yeah, that third troop down has got more health than I can dish out. Like I've got 112 true damage on 2 casts of this, so it's not going to actually wipe out that enemy. So what you can do is we can collect our mana first and foremost. Always take the 4 matches. You never know what's going to happen with the cascades. May get some lucky skull hits, but we do want to get our Ice Storm going first. So we'll cast that. Get that mana. So we've got a single troop there, which is not going to be killed when we cast our Crimson Bat back to back. So we use this to soften them up. With that Ice Storm, we got a chance to get an extra turn, which we did. And now we can cast our Crimson Bats back to back and wipe everybody out. Obviously, if you have multiple troops like that with more health than your Crimson Bats can wipe out, you may have to rely on your drowned matey boy from casting a couple of times on each troop that's got the most health. But it's fairly reliable. Just make sure you start up this Ice Storm first. It's a lot of yellow for a blue storm. Enemy got a bit excited there. But we can actually cast this again. But during a storm, you got a chance of an extra turn anyway, just because of the way that the gems fall. So like I say, like all these now, I've got too much health for me to wipe out with back-to-back casts of my bat. And remember, this is going to be like 2 turns, because it's got no chance of a extra turn with this. So you can actually just risk it a bit and say, okay, I'll give 1 hit on you. 1 hit on you. Lucky with the extra turn so far. I'm going to avoid that one, because that may just die. But if it works on this one, then we can certainly cast it on this one now. And then cast our bats back to back, knowing we're going to wipe out the team. Come on. See you later. Right, anyway, I'm going to skip it out of that, or leave it at that. But remember that if we got an all blue team, it is really worth swapping over the weapon to the Doomed Corseque. Really good weapon for generating tons of blue for the team. But there's a video. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. I'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.